A long time ago, in a quiet, forgotten village far away from any city, there lived a donkey. The village was surrounded by fields on one side and a dark, thick jungle on the other. The people there lived simple lives, but they were stuck in the same routines for generations. No one dared to cross the jungle, not because it was forbidden, but because everyone believed it was dangerous. The donkey often watched the jungle from a distance. He would see the sunlight filtering through the tall trees, hear the sound of birds he'd never seen, and feel an unshakable curiosity. Why should I spend my whole life in this same place? What lies beyond those trees? Maybe something better. Maybe something beautiful. I'll never know unless I try. The next morning, without telling anyone, the donkey decided to leave. He packed nothing. He simply started walking toward the unknown. When the villagers saw the donkey heading toward the jungle, they laughed. "Foolish animal," they said. "No one goes into that jungle. There are wild animals, poisonous plants, dangerous rivers. He won't survive a day." But the donkey didn't care. He didn't listen to the warnings. His heart had already chosen the journey. The jungle was everything the villagers had described: thick, dark, and full of challenges. The donkey struggled through tangled roots and thorny bushes. He climbed steep hills, crossed cold streams, and endured sleepless nights under the stars. Days turned into a week, but eventually he emerged from the other side. He had done it. When word reached the village, people were shocked. The donkey crossed the jungle? He must have found a wonderful life on the other side, they whispered with envy. Soon, the donkey became a sort of legend. The villagers imagined him living in a beautiful place with endless food, fresh water, and peace. One day, a group of dogs overheard the villagers' stories. "If a donkey can cross the jungle, then surely we can too," they said with confidence. The next morning, they followed the donkey's scent step by step along the exact path he had taken. With their strong noses and sharp instincts, they made it through as well. When the villagers saw the dogs return from the other side, it caused even more excitement. "If the dogs can do it, so can we," they said. One by one, villagers began using the same route. Over the years, that narrow trail turned into a well-worn walking path. Eventually, the government decided to build a proper road through the jungle to connect the village with other towns. When the engineers came to survey the area, the villagers insisted, "Build the road exactly along the path we've been using for years." The chief engineer, curious, asked, "Why this path? Is it the shortest way?" An old man stepped forward. "This is the easiest path we know," he said proudly. The engineer tilted his head. "And who made this path in the first place?" The old man thought for a moment. "As far as I remember, it was a donkey a long time ago." The engineer smiled faintly. "I'm not surprised that a donkey made this path. What surprises me is that humans followed it for generations without asking if there might be a better one." He pulled out a map and pointed to another route. "In fact, we've found a much shorter, smoother way that will save you time and effort. but none of you ever looked for it." The villagers exchanged uneasy glances. They realized the truth. They had been blindly walking a path made by a donkey without ever questioning it, without ever trying to find something better. For decades, even centuries, they had wasted time and energy just because that's the way it's always been done. They had never stopped to ask, "Is this the right path for me?" The moral of the story: many of us are like those villagers. We walk on roads created by others, sometimes by people who didn't know better, sometimes even by those who guessed their way forward. But instead of exploring, instead of creating our own way, we simply follow, without thinking. Life's biggest mistake? Walking a path just because it already exists. The real question is, are you walking your own path or just following the footprints of someone else? A challenge for you: don't blindly follow the crowd. Dare to question. Dare to explore. Dare to create your own way. Because sometimes a new path can lead you to a faster, better, and more meaningful life. And sometimes it only takes one brave step to change your entire destiny. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who might need to hear it. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the reason they stop following the wrong path and start walking toward the life they were meant to live.